Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another tier list, but you can consider this maybe an updated version of the last one. But this is Sonic tier lists. This is from, I think this is mostly every game in the franchise. But, as you can see, a lot of them were left behind. These are the ones I have played. I decided that it wasn't fair to add the rest of these. These don't get a fair opinion because I never played them. If I ever get the chance to play any of them, I will give them a fair opinion on this list. So you may expect some updates depending on which games I decide to play. For now, this is going to be the first part to this tier list for the games I have played so far. We are going to the bottom of the tier. We're going to be starting at the bottom of the D tier and then make our way to the top of S tier. Now, we will start off in the very bottom of D tier, which is Sonic the Hedgehog, or as people call it, Sonic 06, because it was made in 2006. A lot of people know that I don't need to explain this one that a lot. This was considered the game that destroyed and ruined the Sonic franchise. There's multiple reasons to this. My first opinion with the problem with this game is the gameplay itself. As most people know, the gameplay needs to be good, or at least published a bit to consider be good. Because when the gameplay sucks, then technically the game sucks and it's not fun to play. This, besides Sonic Boom Rise Lyrics, is probably the slowest, if not the slowest. This is probably going to be, which is probably the slowest Sonic game, if not the slowest Sonic game in the entire franchise. The only times you'll go fast is if you get speed shoes. How often do you get that when they appear in the stages? Not that very often. But there's also gameplay issues with many characters. One flaw from Shadow's gameplay is that when he homing attacks, it just sticks to one character. So doing homing attack platforming with him is very irritating. Silver, he's very, very, very slow. Plus, telekinesis is really, really broken and needs fixing. There's also Amy's gameplay where she has to get close to actually hit or hurt an enemy, which is ridiculous. There's also the very broken parts of stages where the game has to render you and has to render the stage and make you do the rest and have it do the rest to help you. Often the game will glitch and kill you. There's also glitches that happen at random where they would kill you instantly, which is the reason for many deaths in my time playing this, which I am very irritated with, which is another reason why I didn't finish it at all. Having to sit through Sonic's first part of the story, which was really repetitive in itself, where I didn't even finish it, and I should say right now that I'm not doing the other two stories if I can't finish the first part of the first one. That is too ridiculous to do it 2 more times and then 1 more final time. It is very, very stupid. There's also the story where it would ruin many characters. The only character it didn't ruin, well, that would be Shadow the Hedgehog, where I've heard that his own game ruined him. But then this game fixed him, having him be a member of GUN, or GUN, and, being an agent. I consider this being better than anything else Shadow has gone through in the story, other than Sonic Adventure 2, where he was introduced, at least. There are other characters who were terrible in this game. Couple being Silver, Mephiles, and Elise, the game that introduced all 3 of them. Silver was definitely a promising character at first, and he is a very good character now, but has some of the worst introductions to the series. A ridiculous introduction, plus, I can't know what to say. His one line has become a meme, and the part with Shadow drop kicking his head is also a meme. There's also Mephiles, a really fun idea for a villain, and has a great story. It has a great reason for why he's doing this. But his character design has a lot to be desired. Looking a lot like Shadow which ends up making people mistake him for Shadow, which is as ridiculous as people mistaking Shadow for Sonic. Both are really ridiculous, because although yes, Mephiles looks similar to him, it isn't exactly Shadow, as should be told. And for other reasons why I would hate this game would be Elise. She's probably the worst human character in the entire Sonic franchise. Being there's a lot, but I can consider a lot more to be better. But other than that, there's also another problem with Elise, being her relationship with Sonic, to where it seems very, very, very wrong, leading to the most stupidest ship in the Sonic franchise. Sorry to anyone who ever liked that ship, because although I would respect your opinion, I absolutely hate it. As most of you know from my ships tier list, I hate Son Amy. Yes, Amy as a character is nice, although I do find her annoying. She is a nice character. Her ship with Sonic, though, is disgusting to me. But this is something that can really rival it, along with Sonali, who also rivals it, being my least favorite. If there was a competition between these three to being my least favorite, it'd be really hard to decide, although it'd probably be Sonic X Elise, even though I hate the other two just as much. This ship is ridiculous. It's bestiality for one. Two, it's just plain disgusting. And this game really, really hinted to it, too much so, to where they actually kissed at the very end, which is very, very ridiculous. Although I agree with people saying that it probably wasn't really a kiss, because Sonic was dead and didn't have his consent, so there's no real way she did it on her own. But there's plenty of reasons to have this on my bottom of the tier list. What are some good points to this game, even though it's probably the worst that I've played? Well, there's the ending. The ending's really cool, even if the gameplay is still repetitive. The ending's really cool, plus, Sonic's point, Sonic's very last line to Elise, being that, obviously, there are some lines in the Sonic games where I really like. Some games that I haven't played yet have great lines that I've heard. Like from Sonic and the Black Knight. Every world has its end, and it's sad, but that's why you gotta live life to the fullest in the time you have. In this one, it's just, yes, you don't want to lose anything, but just smile. So, yes, that's a good, lesson and, great thing to say, but this game is not a good one, which is why it's at the very bottom, and you can definitely tell in the sound of my voice, yes, fine line, but terrible game. Moving on to Sonic Boom Rise of Lyrics. This is another terrible game, another game that is considered to ruin the franchise. One reason is it's somehow a mainline Sonic game. You would think I am lying, but somehow it is. This game has to be a spin-off. Everyone thought it was going to be, but no. They tried to reboot the whole franchise off of this piece of junk. Yes, I would have thought it would be a great idea after Sonic 06, but hell no do I think wrong. Every character looks freaking terrible. Knuckles is terrible looking, so is Sonic, Amy, and Tails. Plus the TV show in general is just bad too. The gameplay is weird. I'm fine with the gameplay though. It's alright, but it's way, way too slow. It is close to Sonic 06 when it comes to being slow, but there are some points where it is faster than Sonic 06, which I enjoy. But just in general, the switching of characters is really weird, because there's only some points in the story where you would actually need to use a certain character. Other than that, you could use whatever character you want, which is why I find myself playing Sonic more than anyone else, because he's got the speed, but he's still really slow. Other points is the story. Lyric, I guess, is a cool villain, but in general, no. There's also glitches in this game, too, where they would also kill you. There is a flaw mechanic in this game that has where this mechanic is also terrible in one of my S tier games, but it's homing attack. Sonic's homing attack in this game is also broken, where sometimes it won't even do it at all. At some points, yes, it's got great lock on. Yes, it has that. But sometimes it doesn't even work, which is really ridiculous and leads to very, very cheap deaths, where it isn't even your fault. It's the game. Yes, it sounds like I'm shitting on the game for having really terrible, gameplay, but it's the truth. Most of it isn't even your fault. And most of it, I said, wasn't even my fault. Even people may say I blame the game. No, none of my deaths were my fault. It is all the game because of its stupid gameplay. Another thing is definitely the story. The story is very, very, very odd. It never shows up in the Sonic Boom TV show, thank God, but that TV show still sucks. But still, this game is very bad. It had a lot of potential, and could have been a nice reboot, but it failed miserably. Plus, I don't even think the franchise needed a reboot at all. So, yeah, don't even try to reboot again, and don't make another Sonic Boom game. From what we see down here, you kind of already tried to do it 2 more times. Don't try again. I don't even know why you tried after the first one. Anyway, moving on to the C tier list, and the second game, Sonic game on the Wii U, Sonic Lost World. I have to admit, I had lots of fun with this playing it for the first time. I thought it was a cool game, but here are some flaws to it for me. The double jump is really, really weird. It's kind of broken at some points, but Sonic is really fast and his gameplay is fun. But there are points to where the story is really, really weird. I never quite really understand the story, even if I liked the villains, the Deadly Six. Yes, I liked the characters, but the story makes no sense. In general, I was tilting my head so many times playing this game's story. Other than that, this was a fun game, but there was one thing that butchered it for me. It was way too much like Mario. From level designs being stripped from Mario, from ice to desert, to lots of other ones like that, to where, yes, it's irritating for it to look a lot like that, but it was also very, very similar to Mario Galaxy, where you're running around on a little ball, and, it's got a weird movement to it. One thing I did say I have fun with were the boss fights. The boss fights were pretty fun. But there were some points in the game that felt very, very broken and felt like cheating to me. There's a point in the story where there's 3 1-ups on a little platform where you would have to switch really quickly in order to not die. But I found out that you can just collect those 3 lives, die, and then go collect those 3 lives again, which instantly makes you try to get 99 lives, like you try to do in every game. It feels very, very broken, and every game at some point has that in the series. But this one feels like the brokenness to me, because you're getting 3 lives every single time you die. You get 3 lives, you lose 1, but you get another 2, but then you get another 3 after that, and then you lose that one, you get another 3 after that. That is very, very broken. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say at this game. It's not great, but it's not awful. It's kind of the meh of the entire game, out of all the Sonic games I played. Moving on to the B tier, and the only classic Sonic game standout on this list. I haven't played lots of them, but this was the first Sonic game that I ever played. I give it props to that for being the first one, so it's a lot higher on the list. But I never really quite finished it. Not that I get the chance to anymore, because it was on my 360, and my 360 no longer works, because, as everyone knows, the Xbox 360 is really rare to work anymore, but they are expensive too. I am not buying another one. And what the hell happened? Okay, we're good. I am not buying another one because it's most likely gonna die just the same. But other than that, this game was fun. It was a very fun game. Plus, it's one of the classics, so you can't really judge me for putting it here. But if I had to say one flaw with the game it wasn't even the game's fault. It was me not finishing it. Because I was pretty trash, and probably still am pretty trash at classic Sonic gameplay. But that's just me. I will not blame the game for that one. That is definitely on me. But yeah, it's in the middle because it's the first Sonic game I played, and also it's just it's not the game's fault that I was terrible at it. Moving on to the next part of the list, A tier. Yes, you can see me switching around because I don't know about this placement. No, I don't think these two deserve S tier, but I'm just kind of kind of thinking about which one I like better than the other on this tier. Both of these have their quips, but I don't know which one I like more. Here are the problems with me putting one above the other. One is Sonic Generations feels way too easy, and Sonic Adventure 2's gameplay for me was really weird, even though I say it's pretty fun, but it was weird to me. Now I'm kind of stuck at this, but I think this is what we're going to go for. So, let's go to Sonic Adventure 2. I played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which was the updated versions, but so that's why this is here, but even though, yeah, they don't have Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on here, so we're just gonna say this is it. Sonic Adventure 2, and it's the one I played, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, they were technically the same game, with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle being better looking, and probably being better in general. But here it is, Sonic Adventure 2. Probably having the best storyline in the Sonic franchise, and introducing some of the best characters who would be fan favorites all in general, being Shadow the Hedgehog. He was the best introduced character ever in the Sonic franchise and has become a fan favorite. Yes, he was butchered in his own game, but was brought back better, in my opinion, in Sonic 06. Although he's become quite irrelevant in the Sonic franchise. Doesn't say I don't love him, because I love the character. He is quite the opposite he's literally Sonic's doppelganger, being quite the opposite of Shadow, of Sonic, I mean. Not only in color, but in personality in general. Sonic is a cocky, like a surfer dude teenager. Shadow is a much older hedgehog who takes everything quite seriously. And another thing that's different between them, Sonic is pretty happy-go-lucky, while Shadow seems pretty sad and angry or annoyed in a lot of ways. Probably due to his backstory, which I do like his backstory, although it does lead to another really, really weird ship, but it does get better. The ship does get better when they say that Maria is an animal, which makes better sense than having her as a human. Yes, the human ship version of that ship is gross, but I prefer the animal version. Anyway, moving on to the other parts of the game, being the gameplay. From Shadow and Sonic, speed and platforming like gameplay. From Knuckles and Rouge's treasure hunting, really cool open map space exploring levels. To Dr. Eggman and Tails, kind of like third-person shooter, explorer, platforming type gameplay. And sometimes Tails and Rouge's race or car gameplay. All gameplays are all unique, and I have personal favorites over others. But if I had to complain about any of them, it'd be Sonic and Shadow's really, really weird platforming in this game. Yes, I like it. I like it, but it's pretty strange, though. Complaint about Knuckles and Rouge is that they take a long time when you don't know what you're doing. Plus, they just take a long time in general with the giant maps that you get. And then Tails and Eggman, well, it's pretty slow, being that they're in max after all. And, the game is just fun in general. It's got some of the best stories, the best boss fights, the best characters, and the best points for characters, besides maybe Amy. And, of course, this has one of the best endings in the Sonic franchise. With, Knuckles and Rouge thinking about the future after that. Eggman telling Tails about his backstory with his grandfather and questioning his purpose in the universe. And Tails saying that he doesn't know a lot about that, but is also questioning Eggman's grandfather's reason to destroy the planet. And then finally, Sonic commencing the loss of Shadow the Hedgehog and his sacrifice to the world. And, just coming it down to where it's just time to go home after the end of the game. This game was a lot of fun to play, although I must admit I am pretty trash at it. But I say it's a lot of fun. I am planning to playing the game again, hopefully to get better. And then, who knows, this might be buffed into S tier when I get better at it. Moving on to Sonic Generations. As everyone knows who plays this game, this is one of the fan-favorite Sonic games ever made. Not only does it have some of the best gameplay in the entire Sonic franchise, but also it's got some of the, best... It's got mostly every character from the franchise. If we had to minus characters, it would be Big, the robots, and, that's kind of it. And probably the comic characters, since it's the game franchise, not the comic franchise. Anyway, there's also Mighty and Ray who are also gone, but, that's just, them staying in the classic universe where they belong. But this game is a lot of fun. This is the first 3D Sonic game I ever owned, giving it more points to that. The one problem I have with this game, yes, the gameplay is fun, modern Sonic being fast and going through the stages really fast and really crazy-like. And classic Sonic also being pretty fast, but more strict to platforming sometimes. But also this game has the want to 100% complete it. There aren't at any points to where I said, screw it, I'm not 100%ing this game, but it is really fun to 100% it. The one problem with this game that breaks it down for me S tier is that it's way too easy. Every time I play this game and I feel like I went too slow or I messed up too much to get an S rank, it hands me an S rank. It's pretty much if you go through this stage without dying and going reasonably fast, this game will hand you an S rank, which is really weird to me because it's like, really, you're handing me an S tier for that poor excuse of a run? It's honestly very weird with its ranking system. And yes, it feels way too easy to beat, and the story is really, really quick to go through. All you have is 9 stages. And you have to go through those 9 stages twice at least, with both modern and classic Sonic. And I don't complain a lot about, going through the stages twice, because it's at least variety between the two, but it's still really fast to beat, especially with the really insane fast levels that are modern Sonic's, being the fact that he's faster than classic Sonic. But I don't have that many complaints. Besides that, the story is fun, with, having every character from every point in the Sonic franchise, from having 3 stages from either the classic era to the, mid era from like GameCube and Dreamcast, and then of course the modern stage levels. If we had to go through the 3, it'd be classic, would be Green Hill, Chemical Plant Zone, and Sky Sanctuary. Obviously, it makes sense that those 3 were chosen because, they are the classic 3. And then you have the Dreamcast or GameCube era with City Escape, Speed Highway, and Seaside Hill. Seaside Hill obviously being on there due to its really massive breakthrough in Sonic Heroes. City Escape, obviously, for being Sonic Adventure 2, amazing. And Speed Highway being from Sonic Adventure, from the first Sonic Adventure. These 3D Sonic games were some of the fans' favorites, even if they had their flaws. But all 3 had amazing stages that ended up in this game, which I'm really glad 2 of them made, because I haven't played one of them. And then there's the modern stage areas with Crisis City, Rooftop Runs, and Planet Wisps. Those 3 stages are from Sonic 06, Sonic Unleashed, and Sonic Colors. makes sense for Sonic Colors stages to be on here because Sonic Colors was really, really highly liked. People say overrated, but I don't think that's the truth, even if I haven't played it yet. And then Sonic Unleashed having rooftop runs being one of my personal favorite stages, actually, from that game, which I am glad that it was in this one, because I got a first taste of it before I played Sonic Unleashed. And then there's Crisis City. Yes, they made it better than it was in Sonic 06, and obviously people might not like that it was added, but it was a better stage now. It was a lot more fun, and it was challenging. It was probably the most challenging out of all of them, even if Plant List was pretty long. Plant List was long, but not challenging. Crisis City was challenging, but was fun overall. It wasn't the stupid stage everyone hated in Sonic 06. But that's kind of all I have to say. The only problem with this game is it's too easy, which kind of brings it down from being S tier. And since I'm talking about S tier, let's just head into it with Sonic Forces. Yes, this game was highly, hated, and I can see why people would hate it, but I personally liked it. With the 3 different types of gameplay you would get Modern Sonic, who is all about boosting through stages, Classic Sonic, which is mostly based on platforming, and then there's, the Avatar, who is mostly based on your weapon, and obviously speed, but not too fast. What are the problems people had? Well, it'd be that Sonic is very slippery, and so is the Avatar. Plus, with the really weird Wisp weapon mechanic. And then there's the one where Classic Sonic is just stupidly broke, with his stupidly challenging stages where it's not even your fault when you die. Yes, I didn't like the Classic Sonic stages in this game because they sucked. Modern Sonic I liked, even if you had to go in a straight line, and the Avatar was fun. If I had one problem with it, it would probably be the Classic Sonic stages, but I didn't have much problems with the Modern Sonic and Avatar stages. Plus, the double boost mechanic was fun, and the boss fights were fun. And people say it lacked in story, but I'm pretty sure most people didn't really pay attention. There is one problem to the story, though. It's Infinite's motivation. Because he was called weak, he decides to be a villain. That's not really a good motivation to become a supervillain, but the character is cool overall. And the whole war setting is really cool. Even if Sonic is a little goofy in that game, it's kind of what the Sonic franchise has led to at this point. Sonic has slowly grown into being a really silly but otherwise serious character, which is kind of what they leaned into. Yes, he's serious about being in war, but he's still being a little goofy, which I'm not complaining about. Plus, the very final boss is lots of fun. Even with Classic Sonic's broken gameplay, I had fun with Classic Sonic's part of that boss fight. Moving on to Sonic Heroes. This game was a ton of fun to play, and I'm still playing it as of today. I've been trying my very best to get all A-rings. Since my Sonic trailer, I have completed the story at least once. And recently, I have started a second run of the game on a second save file. And I must say, I have done way, way better. I've gone through all 4 or 5, I should say, stories, getting all A-rings in all of them, and I'm moving towards getting all A-rings in all the challenges. And that should unlock me hard mode, which I'm excited to try out. If I had to say one problem with this game, it would be its gameplay. The gameplay is very weird and is clearly not polished at all, and it feels really rushed. Although I didn't have much problems with it at the very beginning of the game, as we got to the end where the gameplay really truly begins to start not making sense. To the points to where you don't get any invincibility frames, or the points to where, the game's play is really slippery, or, the grinding on the game is really broken. Yes, that gameplay is really unpolished, and probably should have been polished mainly for the final stages, but other than that, this was a fun game at the very beginning, until it got to the end where the gameplay got really broken. And I also know that the variety in each story isn't that much, but I liked how variety the character teams were. From characters all having different parts to why they're there, and then there's also the points of having A-ranks in them. Team Chaotix, it was mostly to do with doing your mission in a really fast pace. Team Sonic, it was also getting through the stage really fast with a ton of rings. Team Dark, yes, a ton of rings, and not so much on time because their stages take a long time to do, but it was mostly based on getting a really high score with killing enemies, mainly because that's the whole team's point. They all want Eggman, so destroying Eggman robots is the only way to get to them. Team Rose, well, they're pretty easy. They are technically the baby stages of the Sonic game, of that entire game. So, even though definitely the areas are not any different, but I enjoyed the difference in every team. And then there's the final story, being the final boss with the Metal Overlord, or Metal Madness, being the villain as Metal Sonic. That was a fun boss to do, especially with all 4 teams being different. Team Rose being easy, giving you a handout win with 2 team blasts. Team Chaos being a little more challenging due to the fact that Vector didn't get leveled up at all. And then Team Dark being pretty easy, giving you 3 level ups for every character, but still being slightly challenging, less easy than Team Rose. And then there's Team Sonic going at Metal Sonic with their super forms, which is really fun overall. This is a fun game with a great story for with each team. The one problem is the unpolished gameplay that really gets you at the very end of the game. Moving on to the top of my tier list was Sonic Unleashed. I cannot understand why people hated this game so much. I love this game a whole lot. Being the second ever 3D Sonic game I ever owned, it holds a special place in my heart. This is still one of the most funnest Sonic Unleashed. This is one of the funnest Sonic games ever. From the 2 different gameplays with the Werehog Sonic and Hedgehog Sonic. Hedgehog Sonic, you get to run through every stage, which feels really, really fun to do. You're going really, really fast, faster than any other Sonic game I've played so far. And the environment looks amazing, making you want to slow down, but, it's fun blasting through everything anyway. Then there's the Werehog stages, where you actually get to look at the environment, which is fun. You get to explore, even if the combat's a little bit repetitive, but it's still fun though. And there's the leveling up system, which I think is really cool. And then, there's the story. The story is great, with some of the best characters ever. From Professor Pickle, yes, a human, but better than the ones in Sonic 06. And Sonic 06, which is great to see. And then there's Chip, another really fun character. Who is really silly, which is really fun compared to the other characters in this game. Yes, I like the humor in this game, where it's not really exactly, stupid at all, as I should say, but also this game has some serious moments and really emotional moments. From Chip leaving Sonic and leaving him with his little bracelet, with Sonic wearing it as pretty much, with Chip leaving him his necklace. It's a really sad moment knowing that knowing that Chip has left us for now. But someday we might see him in another Sonic game, even if that's pretty unlikely at this point, but I would still like to see that character return. Then there's just the game in general. The game is pretty fun. And also, there's the whole goal of getting 100%. A very challenging goal for this game, but it's really fun to try. And then there's the whole ranking system in this game. If you do something wrong, and if you do something very, very wrong, you are likely to kiss an S rank goodbye. This gives you a more challenging way, unlike Sonic Generations, to get an S rank. It feels really, really hard, and it's a lot of fun to try to get S ranks. Even though I do agree with some stages, I get really angry with it, but that's just me sucking at those stages. But I had lots of fun with this game. This game was so much fun, and I can't wait to play it some more. As some of you may know, I have been live streaming the game and talking about how much I like the game. Yes, I haven't live streamed in a long time doing it, but I am planning to do that more. And now at this point, I'm thinking about live streaming Sonic Generations, because it's probably going to be another fun one to live stream. But anyways, that's my tier list, with Sonic Unleashed being top of my list, being that it's just my favorite in general. And then there's Sonic 06, which is at the bottom, which really doesn't need to be explained, because I explained it already. I hope you liked this video on this small little update to the Sonic Games tier list. I will still keep the other one open, because I like to reflect on past opinions. Plus, there's also the thing where you guys might want to know what I thought back then, and about the other games that are on that tier list that I may have played or may not have played. If the ones back then on that video where I didn't play them, I gave them a fair rank. I gave them all B tier. It was being fair to them because I didn't play them. This one, I decided to be even more fair with them and not rank them at all because I haven't played them. Anyway, I hope you liked this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed that Blade and Sorcery video. I found a better way to make VR videos, and I'm really hoping to do more with it. Yes, I may not be able to edit with the way I'm doing it, but I hope you guys like it way more than my other way of doing it. The other way takes a lot of time to do, because if you may have noticed, I have to go to my drives and then record it then, even if I record it once already, which gives us the really bad camera quality in those videos. But the way I'm doing it now should give you better quality, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed that, even if I don't take a lot of time editing, but I give you better quality anyway. Plus, it's a VR game in general, and a game that people have been waiting to see come out. I also forgot to say to, like and subscribe, but y'all already know what I was gonna say. I really didn't need to say it. But anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below what you think about your rankings on this list, and what your opinions are. And, tell me if you like my opinions or if you don't like them. I like to hear what you have to say. Just please don't be a jerk about it, okay? Respect everyone's opinions and be nice in the comments. I don't want to start any Sonic wars with the games, because honestly, everyone's opinion is going to be different. You don't expect anyone's to be the same. And obviously, even though a lot of people are going to say they hate Sonic 06, at least respect the people who do kind of like it or like it a lot. Just respect that, okay? So, no wars in the comments, please. Also, just, have fun talking about it and, start conversations and all. Anyways, hope you liked this video. Don't forget to obviously like it if you did like it. Also, subscribe and hit that notification bell when I make more, to be notified when I make more videos. And thank you all for 38 subscribers. I know that's not a huge milestone point, but I didn't expect to go this far into my little career with this. I know a lot of my friends do a lot better at this than I do, with Honkers at least being at 100, if I don't remember correctly what he's at this point in time. Cryptic's already being at 1K, good for him, and Rux, even though slightly doing less than the rest of us are doing, still being at least at 600, which is really cool to him. I'm glad they're doing really well, and I'm kind of not really catching up with them, but I'm still enjoying making these videos. For the past couple of months, I've really lost motivation to do this, because I feel like I was just forcing myself to do Gorilla Tag videos. At this point in time, Gorilla Tag is slowly dying to everyone. Plus, I just want to do something different. Doing Blade and Sorcery was good for me. It was a fun video to make. And with my new way of making VR videos, maybe I'll start doing more Gorilla Tag videos, because I won't, think about the suffering I would have to endure trying to make them. Because honestly, my past Gorilla Tag videos, they were, honestly very terrible to make for me. But for now, I will end it here, and, I'll see y'all later. Bye.